Hello, you're all welcome. So today we're making our shirt dress. So in case you haven't watched the video on this shirt dress pattern, I'll be leaving the link in the description box below so that you can check it out. And if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, do hit on that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. So let's get to work. So note that this pattern can be modified. Okay, this is just the basic pattern for making a shirt dress. It can be modified. You can use it for a shirt top. Okay, just drafting to the hip. You can use it for a shirt top. Then even at this lower part, you can decide to change the design, okay, to whatever you want. So that is it. So now I'll be transferring it to this fabric. Okay, so put everything aside. Then I'll place my fabric on fold. So I'll be folding it, placing the wrong side of the fabric on top. Okay, and this is it. So I'll take my front panel. So if the shirt dress you're making is longer than the length of the fabric this way, you can use the other side of the fabric. That is, you can fold from this other side. You can fold this way. Okay, so just place the front panel and cut it out the way it is, or you cut it out modifying it to what you want. Okay, so this is it. So just place it like this, making sure that everything is lying well on it. So by the time you have actually learned how to draft this, you can go ahead and draft directly on your fabric. So but sometimes it is good to have this pattern, because with it you can make as many shirts as you want without going through taking measurements on the fabric again. So by the time you have already drafted it on your pattern paper, you can use it for mass production. Okay, so that is it. So right now I'll go ahead and cut it out. So we have this for the front. So remember, you have to open it up. Okay, so take away my pattern. So I'll open it up at the center, front. Okay, so you can press it down so that it will be easy for you to cut. I'll cut it open at the center. So by the time you have cut it open, this is what you will do. You place back your pattern on it. Okay, because you want to notch this part. You know, we took away 3 inches, so you have to notch you have to notch it on the fabric here and also at the lower part. Okay, so what you do, you can first of all mark it with your chalk. So just mark the point with your chalk. Then you would lift your pattern paper and notch that part. Okay, so I'll have to notch it. Just raise it like this and give it a little notch at that point. Okay, so have it there. Make sure you notched the 2 sides. So have it there. Also notch this other side, the down part. So I have it there. So after making your notch, okay, you can see it after notching here and notching this other side. you take it out like this. Okay, so for female shirts, the button is at the left. Yes, for female shirt, the button is at the left side. Okay, while for male is usually at the right. So now I place my shirt pattern, the dress like this. So this is the left side. Okay, this is the left side where the button would be. So I'll take this one aside, and what I'll do is this. Now on this side that I notched, I'll fold it in. Okay, so just folding in the 3 inches. So you fold in and you iron it down. So you press it down. Okay, so that is it. So just give it a good press. So as you fold, you arrange. You also fold from the other side. Just fold in at the point where you notched. Okay, so I'm folding in at the point where I notched the 3 inches. So just fold and you give it a very good press, like you can see me doing. Okay, so this is it. So after ironing down, you have to still open it up, then fold again. That is, this time around we are folding half of it to meet the iron line. So you can see the iron line, you can see it. Okay, you can see. So we are folding again. So what it actually means is that we are folding by 1.5. You know, we took away 3 inches, so that is, we marked 3 inches at that point. So we are folding by by half of it, that is 1.5. So the essence of folding the first one was to create that line, that iron line you can see, to guide us in folding this one. So after folding that one, we'll fold it again, like you can see me doing. So fold it again. Now this is our button stand. Okay, so you fold it and you give it a good press. So you can see I'm coming in, I'm folding it in. So that is it. So now I have taken the whole 3 inches, that is folding 1.5 first and folding 1.5 again. So the whole 3 inches is now folded. Okay, so this is the side that would hold the button. Okay, this is the side that would hold the button. So after ironing it down like this, what you will do now is to mark it. We are going to sew at this edge. Okay, so you sew this edge. You see this edge that is close to the neckline here, you sew it. So I'll show you why sewing. You just sew very close to the edge. You sew it all the way down. So this is the side I'll hold the button. Then for this other one, where we make the button hole, we also fold just the same way we folded the other one. So you also fold and you iron. So just follow what I'm doing. Just take it step by step. Press it down here. I'll then open it. Okay, so you fold again now. Just the same thing we did in the other one. You fold again to meet this mark or to meet the notch. Okay, now we fold it again. Now you take it back again. You still iron it down. So you can see what we have here. Okay, you can see what we have here. So for this other side, this side that would have the buttonhole, you would sew at the 2 edges. You sew at this edge and also at this edge. Okay, so you sew at this edge and you sew at this edge. This one is for the buttonhole. While the one for the button stand, that is where the button will be, you only sew one side. You only sew this inner side. Okay, so you can see it. You can see it. So the one for the button, you can just give it a mark to know this is the button stand. Okay, this is the button holder, so the button hole. Okay, this is for the button hole, this is for the button stand. So the one for the button stand, you only sew this inner parts. I hope you can see this. You only sew this inner side just close to the edge. Why? The one that would take the button hole, you sew the both sides. You sew here and you also sew here. That is, you just stitch here all the way down. You also stitch at this side. So that is it. So now, by the time you have folded it at this neckline, you have to trim any excess you have there. Okay, so you just turn it, you trim any excess you have so that it will align with the neckline. So this is it. Just trim it out. Here it is. Okay, then you also check this one. Any excess you have there, just trim it out. It's as a result of the folding. Okay, so we have it. You also do the same thing at this down side, but for me, by the time I finish joining and finish cutting the back panel, I would know whether to trim the down or not, because following the length of the fabric, I would not get exactly this length when I cut the back, because the back will be longer. So I might not get it or I might get it, depending. Whatever I see, I will know what to do about it. If the back is not okay, if I will not get it as long as this, I will just change the style at this down area. Okay, what I will do is just to change the style at this down area. So I'll go ahead now and cut the back. So you can see the shape we have here. I'll go ahead, cut the back. After cutting the back, I would also show you how to cut the collar. Okay, so this is it. Let me go ahead and cut the back. So here I have my back panel cut out. Okay, this is my back panel. Now I will also cut the yoke. Place it and cut it out. So this is it. Okay, so this is the yoke. So this will be at the back of the shirt. This will be at the back of the shirt, like so. Okay, this is it. So for this yoke, we would fold it, but before folding it, I'll first of all turn, that is, sew the shoulder together with the front. Then we'll fold it here by ½ inch, okay, or ¼ inch, and sew it down. So we just see it as interfacing. You can use other colors of fabric to do this, like matching color, like you can use plain yellow to add more design to it, but this is just okay. So this is the yoke now. So the next thing is to cut our collar and our sleeve. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. So before making the collar, I would show you how to stitch this. So because we need to measure the round neck to be able to make our collar, so we'll join the back and the front before making the collar. Now, like I said, okay, this one is the buttonhole side, so we need to sew on the two sides of the placket. Okay, so you stitch on this side and stitch on this other side. So first of all, I'll stitch on this inner one. So just do that gently. So you have to take it gently, okay? So I just stitch at the edge. So this is it. Okay, so you can see this side. Now I will stitch at this other side. So let me cut out my thread. Okay, you can see it. I'll still stitch at this other side, just a little bit. Okay, so I'll turn it from this side. I'll start stitching from this side. So I have it here. Sorry, it's raining right now, so you might be hearing the sound of the rain. So you can see what we have here. So this is the side that would have the button hole. So you stitch on the both sides, just like you can see what I've done here. Okay, and you can see the other side. You can see it. Now to the other side that would hold the button, you will stitch just on one side. For this side that will hold the button, you will stitch on only one side, and that is this inner part. Okay, you can see the neckline, this side that goes into the neckline. This is the only side you will stitch for this one that would hold the button. Okay, so you can see this is the side that would hold the button. So I've always stitched on one side. Okay, you can see the other side of it. So this is it. So now we would join the back and the front. So to join the shoulders, what you will do is this: just place the front panel to the back panel this way, the wrong side facing the wrong side. Okay, just like the way the shirt would ordinarily be when you have finished sewing it. Just place it this way, then you get the yoke. So this method is when you are turning with yoke. So if you're not using yoke at all, you join the shoulder the normal way you join shoulder, by turning the back and front. That is the right side facing the right side. Then you sew it in, that you sew at the wrong side. But since I'm using yoke, so I'm just showing you the easiest way to do it. So make sure that the shoulders are aligning. Like I said, you arrange it this way. Make sure that they are well arranged, they are aligning like this. Then you get the yoke. Now the yoke, you place the right side of yoke facing the right side of this front panel. Okay, this time you are placing the yoke at the front panel, at the front side, the right side of the yoke facing the right side of the front. So you just place it like this, making sure that it is aligning. So we'll sew. By the time you sew by ½ inch, then you turn. Okay, so you turn it. So by the time you have turned it, you have a neat finishing there. So I'll go ahead and sew it. So you can always pin it down with your pin. So I'll use my pin to hold it so that everything will be in place. Make sure they are aligning. So I'll go ahead and sew by ½ inch. So I'll also do the same thing to this side. Okay, so you also place this side this way. So I'll also pin it down. So this is it. So by the time I sew this side, and I'll turn it. Okay, and the yoke will go back to the back side, and the inside of the shoulder will be this neat, so you can see. So right now, let me go ahead and sew it. So you can see it is easier this way than joining. After joining, you start sandwiching. You know, that is the way we sandwich when you are making a blouse. You want to use the back side to sandwich the front so that you have a neat finishing at the shoulder. So you can see that this one, using this method, is easier. Okay, so I'll go ahead and sew it. So now I will sew by 1/2 inch. Okay, so you can measure it. If you cannot eyeball your 1/2 inch, you can just measure it to be sure you have 1/2 inch there. Okay, so you measure it and you also measure the other one. So for beginners, you can't eyeball it, you just measure it. You can see that is my 1/2 inch there. So I'll just sew, and as you sew, you take off your pin. Okay, I'll still measure this side to be sure. This is my 1/2 inch. So by the time you are done sewing by 1/2 inch on the both sides, this is simply what you do. You then turn it back. Okay, so you can see it. You just turn it back to the back side and you give it a good press here. So you can see. Okay, so we'll have it there now. So we'll go, you can see the inner part of it. Okay, see how neat it is, and this is the back. So the next thing to do is to sew down the yoke. To sew down the yoke or the facing. So let me show you what to do. So to sew down the yoke, this is what you will do. Please, sorry, it is raining heavily, but I'll try to make my voice as loud as possible so I can hear me. Okay, though it is raining, but this video must still go on. So let's just continue, please. Okay, so this is the yoke now, so you can see it. So it's at the back side now. So what you do is just fold in by 1/2 inch. So you can iron it down as you fold. Okay, you can iron it down, but if you can't iron it, you just pin it down. So as you fold, you pin it down because you'll be top stitching on it. Okay, we'll stitch on it. So you just fold it down by 1/2 inch, and this is it. So as you fold it, you can just press it down with your iron. So I will be holding it down with my pin, and I'll just go ahead and sew it. Okay, so I'll use my pin to hold it down. Ordinarily, ironing it down would be the best so that it will just stay in place, and you can also put hemming gum under it. Then you iron it down so that when you are sewing it, it will stay in place. But your office pin can still do the same thing. Okay, your pin can still do the same thing. You can see I have pinned it down here. So I'll just pin it down, pin the 1/2 inch down, then I'll top stitch on it. I'll just top stitch it, and I'll stitch on it. Okay, so I have top stitched my yoke, and this is what I have. You can see it. Okay, so this is it. So the next thing now is to make a collar. So that will be on the next video I'll be uploading. So I don't want this video to be too long. So watch out for the next video on how to make the collar and completion of this shirt. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do well to hit on that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the video that is upcoming. Thank you and see you.